Hi there. So I wanted to do some like compilation videos, kind of, where I'm doing stuff around the house or doing like several small sewing projects. Forgive the voice. I apparently have decided to lose my voice. My sinuses hate me. We have never had a good relationship, and they have retaliated by taking my voice. But whatevs. Oh, Harmonia has lost her mind. Um, so I wanted to do these. These videos where it's like several projects kind of here and like added together to show a little bit more of the process behind um, and to show how I get to certain places, like on my sewing stuff where I'm taking things in, like I need to fix this because these straps could definitely be taken in and adjusted so that they're not so loose and not flopping around all weird. And so I think this is the first one. I do not have a schedule. I do not plan to keep a schedule for these. It's hard enough keeping a schedule for the weekly uploads because despite me not editing, I am never home. Rare that I am home. So I will just record things, and as I get enough of it together that's all together, like similar enough, then I will smash them together and we'll see what we get. Anyways, here's a little bit of what I've been working on here at the house, and I hope you enjoy.
First off, time for hydration. Always hydrate. And also, for the love of all the gods above and below, wash out your emotional support hydration bottle. We're gross. Doing a quick clean because it's been a while and I know it. May as well clean up the kitchen a little bit while I'm there. That's honestly one of the biggest tips is if you're in a spot and you need to just do a little extra cleaning, it's a lot easier than to come back and do it again later. So, wiping down the sink whenever I'm rinsing something out, much easier. I keep water in the fridge because I like it ice cold. And at this point, I've learned exactly how much I need to add. Harmonia checking in on me. Nope, she got told to get down. I also used the last of the water in the pitcher to go fill up the cat's water fountain, which is why she got down. Adding in my flavors. I knew I added just a tiny bit too much. And Harmonia is back to check on the water. Nope, go to your spot. I have a special faucet on my kitchen sink. And here we are. I'm going to put together a dresser that I've bought for this space. But first, we gotta clean up the space. And that means moving things around. Sorting off everything. May as well light some incense while I'm here. And this whole thing can go away. Why is there stuff under the bed? Oh, because I have a kitten. Yay, kitten. All the random tarot decks, all the random stuff that I have decided I'm not finding places for right now. I'm just kind of done, and that's okay. I keep finding random beads because Harmonia knocked my jar over that has a bunch of beads in it. Oh, that was a hard drive. Taking apart, well, unboxing the small little dresser and making sure I've got everything. Alright, time to go through and actually make sure I've got everything. What's in the bag? All the hardware. Separating out the hardware because that really makes it easier in the long run, and I don't understand why people don't do it. Harmonia checking in. She's such a helper. Did I do it backwards? Nah. I considered multiple times I'm going to get the electric screwdriver. Harmonia again checking in. She's definitely wanting to help. Nope. Changed her mind. Run away. Lost a thing. Do I have a thing? No. I didn't have anything to open it with, so I decided to just go in for it. It's not like I'm going to use it again. Check the directions. Double check. Which way goes up? I got this. Now, keep in mind, these directions are just pictures, and they're not even like detailed pictures. Your girl wishes for an IKEA directions sheet. Crap. I put it on right sides out. I also put on the top before I was supposed to put it on, which might have made things easier had I followed that direction. I somehow skipped part of the directions. Double checked again because I only want to make that mistake once. There we go. Let's see how this lines up. I think that was me realizing I had entirely skipped a whole section. Like, it didn't change how it was put together, and it didn't hurt anything, but it might have made it a little easier to have actually gone in order. double checking. Nope. Flip it over. Yeah, turn it around. Cannot get it in there. This might have been easier again without the top on. It might have flexed a little nicer. Or maybe not. Don't tighten things up until I've got everything in and into place. And then I go back through and tighten things up. Because if they're too tight, then you can't get slight adjustments to get the other screws into the holes as needed. And I typically work on diagonals when putting screws in, so that I don't over tighten one side or get it off a little bit. And I still have room to adjust things just a little to more easily line up the screw with the spot that it goes into. Keeping track of screws that I will not use ever again. It's light and a small piece. May as well move it to more easily access whatever I need to get to. And, drop things. Flip it over. Wait, no, there's wheels. How does this thing work? They gave me this tiny little wrench that doesn't really want to fit around the base of the wheel unless you put it at a very specific angle. And for the most part, it was easier to do it by hand until I got to the very end to try and get that wrench to grab just enough for the last little bit of torque. Very frustrated at this point. Like, why does this not work better? But all done. Got it flipped over. Rip. Combining all the trash makes it much easier at the end. Come on, come in. That was a silica pack. It will definitely be kept away from the kittens. And drawers. Time to hide all my mess. Why do I have so many lipsticks? Well, those are chapsticks. But it explains why I've been looking for them. They were not where I thought they would be at. You know, with the chapsticks. What is this? I don't know. But I kept it for later. Notice I am not super organized in any of this. I am just hiding the mess. Because right now, all that matters is getting this space cleaned up so that I can then function to sort out how to make it nice for me later. Small steps. And there we go.
And now time to clean out my purse, or in my case, where have all my lipsticks gone? Because I'm pretty sure I know where they're at. Also, I use Crown Royal bags for everything, but I went to the eye doctor and I needed to take my stuff with me. How helpful. Good thing I haven't needed these for a while. That's gonna have to stay. I went to a party. They had oops. They had party favors. They're cute. For me, it's a craft project, but it's been in my purse for a while. Always gotta have the brush, especially when you have this much hair. One of my stones is gone. This one should be an emerald. There we go, emerald. My quartz is somewhere in here. Well, there's a lipstick. Hand lotion. I love this stuff. Another lipstick. I wonder if these expire. Why does it not have an expiration date on it? Sounds like a research thing for later. Earbuds for work. old earbuds for work. I probably should not keep carrying these around. Protection. Another lipstick. A spoon. A friend of mine accidentally borrowed a spoon, and so they brought it back, and I stuck it in my purse. Because of course you do. Fellow migraine sufferers understand. What is this? Why do I have a random piece of fabric? Now that one perplexes me. Oh, I bet it's actually part of the... Yeah, it is. It's the inside of my purse. Interesting. An incense stick that I found at a party in a non-occupied space. And we have a note for something, a notepad, a card that we don't need to get into. Because you never know when you're going to need to write a note. What is this? Harmonia! No, ma'am. You're not helping. Oh, a care and cleaning chart for some adult toys. Don't need that at all times. This is the top of my nail file. A hanging thingy that doesn't need to be in my purse. It has been in there for months. There's my quartz. Or, not quartz, selenite. But it can go back in the bag. And then hand sanitizer. And this one is vanilla, warm vanilla sugar. That's where the eye drops went. Wondered about that. All right. Am I going to try and fit this back in? Probably not. That seems like an awful lot of work. Doesn't seem to be really affecting anything. Maybe when I'm bored. Ha! So what goes back in? Well, the notepad. I should probably grab a pen at some point. The nail file. The protection. Because I do a lot of wandering around in a fairly large city, often at night, and generally by myself. The hairbrush. Probably need to see if this is still any good, but for now, in it goes. The hand sanitizer and the hand lotion. The eye drops. Migraine relief. Earbuds, can't forget that. My emerald and my selenite for prosperity, abundance, and protection. And my wallet. And that is quite a bit lighter and far less bulkier than it was before. Time for some gardening. It is ridiculously hot outside, so I have a way to do it inside. Hi. So I have some fairy dust hibiscus seeds. And I'm using the Statler gardening pen. This one is actually one of the best ones I found to not wear off. put that over there. And then I also have some white jasmine. I love the smell of this. So I'm really hoping it tastes off. Although I need to put up some sort of trellis situation for all the climbing plants that I already have. This is basically flower and vegetable garden soil. Star green, I think, maybe. I don't know. I think somebody gave it to me. And it works fairly decently for everything I'm doing. Especially given that it's on my balcony and I'm watching it all the time. And it's a fairly decent draining soil. So we're going to put this in here. These are the fairy hibiscus. Those are what the seeds look like, in case you're curious. Harmonia is helping so much. By which I mean, not at all. Hi, baby. Do I look at how things are supposed to be planted? No. Do I care? Also no. Do I still have fairly good luck with it? Yeah. It's called being a green witch. Don't suggest this for everyone. Do your research. I did do enough research to figure out when I should plant them. I also kind of take a little bit of freedom with that idea of when I should plant them, because I do start everything by seed inside under grow lights and in generalized set conditions. So I don't overly worry about it too much, but I do kind of keep it in mind. It also helps me balance out how much I'm planting per month. Otherwise, I would sit down and try and plant like all 50 to 100 seeds in one day. And as we have found out the hard way, that doesn't work for me. That just makes me a very cranky and very unhappy person. Because I get about a third of the way through it and I'm like, I'm done. This is dumb. And it's not. I'm just tired. It's a bag in a bag, which is kind of cool. Okay. They say in spring or early summer, that's now. They want me to soak these in warm water for 24 hours, so oops. I'll go do that, and then I'll update you later after it gets actually planted. That was fun. Like I said, I hope to have more of these available soon. Again, no schedule. It's just when I can. And you get a little bit of insight into my wacky brain. I hope you had fun. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope it's a fantastic whatever it is, wherever you are. And thanks for stopping by.